Austin has placed a pause on DEI initiatives.
Student government voting is now open.
And Pi Kappa Phi and Texas Cowboys have been allowed to be reinstated back into the UT community.
You're watching Texas News Primetime.
News made for Longhorns.
Welcome back to Texas News Primetime. For Monday, February 27th, I'm Roo Moody.
And I'm Joseph Sweeney. Thank you for joining us today.
Voting for the University Co-op Board of Directors has been suspended due to a ballot error, according to an email from the Election Supervisory Board. All other elections will go ahead as planned. Voting in campus-wide elections began today and ends tomorrow at 5 p.m. Open positions include executive president and vice president, as well as other positions in student government, including the Graduate Student Assembly, college representatives, Texas Student Media, and the university unions. For the full candidate list, candidate statements, and to cast your ballot, go to utexasvote.org.
The Texas Cowboys and Pi Kappa Phi are allowed to return to, a little bit of teleprompter trouble there, to return to the university on a provisional basis after incidents prompted a suspension. The university has provided a map for their return as part of the 9 dimensions of successful student organizations. Their curriculum aims to outline a culture of accountability and provide tools to build successful membership. Other restrictions include limited membership, and the earliest they could represent the university is in spring 2024.
For Primetime on campus, UT STEM Girl Day brought more than 9,000 young girls to the 40 acres. Hosted by the Division of Diversity and Community Engagement, the event is held yearly to spark creativity and inspire future STEM news and careers. Now in its 22nd year, Executive Director of Women in STEM at UT Austin, Trisha Berry, said STEM Girl Day is the biggest event of its kind in the country. There were nearly 150 activities and demonstrations with around 1,400 STEM role models in attendance. Following Governor Abbott's warning to public universities on the illegality of diversity, equity, and inclusion hiring initiatives, the University of Texas system has put a hold on new DEI policies. The decision affects all 13 university and health campuses across the state, including UT Austin. Chairman of UT System's Board of Regents, Kevin L. Teef, said they strive for diversity on campus amongst both students and faculty, but that, quote, certain DEI efforts have strayed from the original intent to now imposing requirements and actions that rightfully so has raised concerns of our policymakers about those efforts on campuses and across our state, end quote. The City of Austin has partnered with UT's Jackson School of Geosciences to explore Austin's water future in light of climate change. The research team received $150,000 for the project aimed at combating future droughts in the city. By 2024, recommendations from the team will be implemented. Austin water engineer Heaven Gerlach said this is part of the city's 100-year water forward plan. The research team said without this plan, Austin's increasing population may result in severe droughts in the future.
The Carver Museum in East Austin celebrates Black History all month long, but for Black History Month, they take it to a whole nother level. Texas News Primetime's Eniola Longe checked out the event to find out why it's important for kids to learn about Black culture.
Black History Month Kids Day.
Black Resistance. That's the theme for this year's Black History Month celebration.
It was an opportunity for us to look at those local activists, to look at Velma Roberts and Dorothy Turner. There's a Turner Roberts Recreation Center.
Dorothy Turner was president of the Black Citizens Task Force created in response to police brutality and racism in the 70s. Velma Roberts advocated for free lunch in Austin schools.
It's given me opportunity to learn more about these activists that I didn't know about, and I think it gives other people that come to the museum opportunity to learn about them.
In line with this year's theme of Black resistance, the George Washington Carver Museum put on Kids Day as they close out February's Black History Month celebration.
I'm here today to read Stacey Abrams' extraordinary words to the children. I found myself a bit emotional because I was able to resonate with parts of the story. It just reminded me to use my words to speak up for myself and to empower others.
The event featured the Blue Dragon Step team from Campbell Elementary, Tree Folk, Ballet Freak, and an interactive art exhibit from Moyo Oyelola.
We have all these phenomenal volunteers. This is a great example of community, and what we do is very important to us.
The kids learned step routines, made fun posters, heard about the exploits of Judge Washington Carver, also known as the Peanut Man, and even planted some strawberries.
I get to celebrate me and people who helped Black people get equal rights.
In Austin, Eniola Lunge, Texas News Primetime.
The Blanton Museum of Art at the University of Texas has plans to unveil its new grounds along with other important information with a grand opening celebration this May. Announcements at the event will include pricing and hours of operation. For pricing, admission, and membership fees will increase to $15 for regular adult admission and $75 for memberships. Pricing isn't the only thing changing. The museum has released new hours of operation. The museum will remain open until 8 p.m. on Saturdays and has swapped free admission days from Thursdays to Tuesdays. For more information about these changes, visit blantonmuseum.org. Cat Metro Rail Red Line will be temporarily suspended from Monday, February 27th through Friday, March 3rd in order to continue construction on the new McCalla station at QT Stadium. The Metro system has said that in the rail's place, it would operate a shuttle to serve Leander, Lakeline, and Howard stations for minimal customer disruption. Cat Metro also released a statement stating, quote, Cat Metro also offers alternative bus service from all rail station locations that can take customers downtown, although not directly to downtown station, end quote. Customers in need of additional assistance are directed to call Cat Metro customer service line at 512-474-1200. It's been 4 weeks from the freeze this year, and residents are still utilizing debris drop-off sites. However, as weeks pass, these drop-off sites at Mansfield Dam Park and Northeast Metropolitan Park are going to be only open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. A serious decrease in availability when earlier this month they were open every day. More information about the resources is available at the Travis County Office of Emergency Management's Winter Storm Recovery page.
A dog attack in San Antonio this past Friday has left an 81-year-old old man dead and 3 injured. The owner of the dogs has been arrested and charged with 2 felonies in connection to the attack. The 3 dogs involved were euthanized, and all remaining dogs were seized from the suspected residence. Dogs from this property have been involved in other reported incidents in the past couple of years. 500,000 gallons of toxic wastewater have been transported from Ohio to Texas. The wastewater comes as a result of the extinguishment of the February 3rd Ohio train derailment. Texas Molecular in Deer Park, a suburb of Houston, has received this wastewater. According to AP News, Texas Molecular injects hazardous waste into the ground for disposal. Concerns have been raised by local authorities and residents about the transportation and disposal of these hazardous materials. A Texas federal judge will soon rule on a lawsuit that could lead to a ban on abortion pills. According to an insider, the lawsuit was filed by the Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine, targeting the FDA approval of the drug, which is an abortion pill. Back in 2000, it was distributed. The judge was appointed by President Donald Trump back in 2017 and is known to have strong conservative views on abortion. Many fear for the national impacts of this ruling and its potential appeal to the Supreme Court.
After California Senator Dianne Feinstein announced she would not seek re-election in 2024, a number of competitors have entered the field, including Democratic Representatives Barbara Lee, Adam Schiff, and Katie Porter. Former House of Representatives Speaker and fellow California Representative Nancy Pelosi endorsed Schiff earlier this month. This is a developing story, and we will provide you with updates as we receive them. Republicans on the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability have launched an investigation into Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg following the February 3rd train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. Buttigieg has come under fire from members of both parties following his response to the incident, which released toxic chemicals and has prompted a cleanup effort by the Environmental Protection Agency. Members of the Republican Party have called for his resignation, while members of Buttigieg's own party have called for more transparency from his department. Throughout this week, a winter storm has led to highway closures from Arizona to Wyoming. A blizzard warning has also been put in place in California, the first since 1989, and has left over 60,000 without power. The storm has also led to several tornadoes forming in the Northeast.
58 people were killed and more than 81 were rescued on Saturday after a migrant smuggling boat crashed off the coast of southern Italy. Around 150 migrants from Iran, Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, and Pakistan were aboard the 66-foot-long wooden boat when it crashed into the rocks on the shoreline. The search for survivors is still ongoing. The U.S. and NATO have officially linked the enormous cyber attacks in Albania to Iran. Albania is considered one of the weakest NATO members and has a population of less than 3 million people, one of those people being a secretive Iranian dissident known as MEK on its soil. The Albanian government hired Microsoft to investigate the attacks, and Microsoft attributed the attack to the Iranian government. After years of rigged elections, Nigeria held its presidential election on Saturday. Millions of voters gathered over the weekend to cast their votes despite threats of violence. In the country's capital, Lagos, there have been reports of gunshots and stolen ballot boxes. The results of the election have not yet been decided yet. I'm Hope Vanderberg here at TSTV News headquarters, and you're watching Texas News Primetime.
Welcome back to Texas News Primetime. Here with us now is business correspondent Angie Santos. How are you doing today, Angie?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. On today's business, Netflix stock dropped by 5% this Thursday despite Netflix cutting prices for its streaming service. This comes as Netflix continues to face backlash after cracking down on password sharing between users. Furthermore, Netflix is facing increased competition from other streaming services such as Hulu and Disney Plus as they expand on their media collections. It's currently unknown how Netflix plans to respond to their falling stock value. Additionally, a group of contractors working for both Google and YouTube are in their third week of picketing in Austin. The union strike is the first in company history and has received both assistance and attention from U.S. Representative Greg Casar and Bernie Sanders. The strikes are a result of employees being forced to return to in-person work rather than having the option to remain remote. Many workers live out of state and are unable to afford living costs in Austin. Those on strike stated that they will not stop until Google negotiates or there is a ruling made by the National Labor Relations Board that would force Google's hand. As well, the Texas Permanent School Fund, which allows leaders to buy bonds from a school district, has reached its debt limit. As a result, renewing of decades-old buildings and equipment within those facilities will halt unless schools pay more in interest for those state funds. This is in the form of raising property taxes within the districts that are affected. While the program did reach its limit in 2009 due to a growing state population and more student enrollment, residents only saw small raises in interest. Furthermore, districts across Texas are expected to see a property rise of 2%.
All right, well, thank you for coming on today, Angie. Up next to talk about STEM news, we have Trent Lamb. So, Trent, just, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, Joseph. Thank you for asking.
So tell me, what's going on in STEM news today?
Of course. A fifth person was cured of HIV following a stem cell treatment. Researchers in Germany published a study this month detailing the treatment over the course of 10 years. The stem cell transplant occurred in 2013 using a donor with resistance to HIV through mutation. Over the course of 5 years, traces of the virus were undetectable, and in 2018, the patient showed no symptoms of HIV. Scientists believe it is still too early to implement this method worldwide, but they do remain optimistic. In other news, long-running science fiction magazine Clarkesworld shut down story submissions with the rise of AI stories. The magazine, which has been accepting submissions for over a decade, noticed a significant uptick in plagiarized stories within the past month. Story submissions featured in the magazine are paid well, which led to hundreds submitting AI-generated stories as a get-rich-quick scheme. As spam submissions grew, Clarkesworld had to shut down with no date listed for its return. Finally, researchers in Australia have developed a hydrogel that can safely deliver stem cells to the brains of mice. The research, conducted by the University of Melbourne, solved the biggest challenge for scientists by delivering stem cells without them dying. When delivered to the site of a brain injury, the mice saw significant health benefits in under a month. Scientists are planning to conduct more research and one day bring these advancements to human trials.
All right, well, thank you for coming on today, Trent. Next up, we have a special segment of Press Box on Primetime, so stay tuned and we'll be right back.
I'm Mal Lambert here at TSTV News Headquarters, and you're watching Texas News Primetime.
Welcome back to Texas News Primetime. Joining us now for our special segment of Press Box on Primetime, we have Alec Alvarez. How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. All right. So, Alec, just take me through the latest sports news this past week.
Absolutely. This week, Austin is hosting the inaugural ATX Open. The ATX Open is one of 5 women's-only tour-level tennis tournaments in the country and will bring the world's best players to Austin, Texas. The tournament features world-class talent across a singles draw of 32 players and a doubles draw of 16 teams, and has 3 players ranked within the top 51 in the entire world, with Sloane Stephens ranked 41, Danielle Collins 40, and Alicia Parks ranked 51, and making it the largest women's pro sporting event in the city of Austin. To keep up with the ATX Open, search and follow them on Twitter and Instagram at ATX Open. In other sports news from the weekend, Tommy Fury defeated Jake Paul to drop the Paul brother to 6-1. Tommy is the brother of boxing legend Tyson Fury, and their pay-per-view fight was aired on ESPN Plus in partnership with Top Rank. To finish us off, here's some quick NBA highlights. After beating the Suns, the Bucks have now won 14 games in a row, wreaking havoc on the league. The Mavs blew a 27-point lead to the Lakers Sunday. The Lakers improved to 29-32, while the Mavs fell to 32-30. The Celtics and Sixers were at all-out war on Saturday night, with Tatum hitting a step-back J3 with 1 second left to win the game. Lucky for the Celtics, Embiid's 70-foot shot that hit nothing but net did not count because he let it off too late. Klay Thompson had a vintage 40-point performance to lift the Warriors over the Rockets on Friday, and Dame Lillard went ballistic and capped off the weekend with a career-high 71 points, and the Blazers win over the Rockets.
All right, so just tell me a bit, Alex. So how big is it that Austin is hosting one of only 4 WTA-level women's tennis tournaments in the country?
It's a huge deal, man, honestly. So it's one of the biggest tennis events, within the country, within the continent, and one of the biggest women's events within tennis, period. So the fact that they chose to bring it to Austin speaks to the tennis community here in Texas, here in Austin, and how the sport is growing, and how Austin is really seen as a market that can empower and push women's sports moving forward. So super exciting to see. I was out there all day today since 7 in the morning seeing the event. So it was cool to see that level of talent here in the city of Austin.
All right, and yeah, that thing going on with the Paul brothers, I mean, what do you make of the whole Jake Paul saga?
Yeah, who would have thought, right? A YouTuber goes pro in boxing, right? I honestly was skeptical at first. I thought everything was staged and rigged when he, fought Ben Askren and all that good stuff. But honestly, truth be told, the Paul brothers, they're athletes, honestly. Over 6'3", 6'4", very built. I mean, they train legitimately, and they're someone to be taken seriously. So the fact that he even hung in there with a Fury brother like that speaks volumes, and it'll be interesting to see where he goes from here off his first loss.
All right, well, thank you for coming on today, Alex. So, up next we have Rayan Shaikh bringing us up to date in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
I'm Julia Mia at TSTV headquarters, and you're watching Texas News Primetime.
Welcome back to Texas News Primetime. Joining us now for entertainment news this week, we have Rayon Sheikh. How are you doing, Rayon?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. First in entertainment today is Ant-Man's Quantumania's box office results, which is now the biggest Marvel box office drop. While the movie had a strong opening during President's Week, it fell nearly 70% in its second week, which is a big deal considering Marvel movies' typical success. In fact, it was overshadowed by the release of Cocaine Bear, which made far more than predicted with $28.4 million globally.
So tell us more about Cocaine Bear and what made it be able to pass Ant-Man.
That's quite interesting, actually. Cocaine Bear is loosely based on a story of a black bear that ingested millions of dollars worth of cocaine in 1984, which makes for a very interesting and fun story.
What do we have next?
Next in entertainment, Abbott Elementary nabbed several awards, including Outstanding Comedy and Breakthrough Creative at the 2023 National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP, Image Awards, with all of the main cast in attendance. Star and creator Quinta Brunson won Best Lead Actress in a Comedy Series, while her castmates Tyler James Williams and Janelle James took home Best Supporting Actor and Actress, respectively. The ABC show has been applauded for depicting the struggles of public school educators while maintaining an upbeat tone throughout the entire series.
That's awesome. I actually am a big fan of Abbott Elementary, so it makes me happy to hear that. What else makes this show so special?
I'm similarly a super big fan of this show. I think specifically the cast is really star-studded and incredible. And additionally, this show tackles an audience that isn't really represented with lower income schools, which is really interesting. Next, in entertainment, the latest drama with Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber, which started after Selena posted a video that her eyebrow results were an accident after over-laminating them. Kylie Jenner then posted pictures that Selena's fans took as passive-aggressive. One was a picture of Kylie with the caption, quote, "This was an accident," end quote. Another was a FaceTime screenshot with Hailey Bieber, who's married to Selena's ex, Justin Bieber, of the girls showing off their eyebrows. Many supporters of Selena are calling this mean girl behavior, while some say this is a reach. In other news, Selena recently passed Kylie as the most followed person on Instagram.
So I first thought this was a reach, and then I actually saw the caption on the story, and now I'm not so sure. I think it's pretty accurate, and I think one way this is going to have consequential effects is on the brand. Selena has Rare Beauty, Hailey has Rhode, and that's going to take a hit. Hailey's already losing so many followers, and people are saying they're going to boycott Rhode. So it's going to be consequential, like I said.
I definitely agree.
Why do you think Kylie got involved?
I think a lot of it has to do with Kylie's close relationship with Hailey and Hailey's close relationship with the Jenner family in general. This drama has been going on for years, and we're just continuing to see it snowball, and Kylie is now increasingly involved.
Thanks for joining us, Rayon. As always, you have brought such insightful news to us in the world of entertainment. You can always follow Texas News Primetime and TSTV News on social media just by searching, and also take us with you on the go by subscribing to our podcast available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. From all of us at TSTV News, thank you for starting your week with us this evening. Now, go out and change your world.